Hi, guys. Good evening. Welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host, Eddie, and in tonight's video, I will be discussing my reaction and doing my film review for Deadpool. I finally saw it a few hours ago. Oh, it was so fun. It was so fun and so good. Oh, wow. It was great. Okay, before I start blabbering on and on like I usually do, please be warned, this video will be full of big spoilers for the movie. Obviously, if you have not seen the movie yet and do not wish to have it ruined for yourself, do not keep watching or listening to this video. Tune out. And when you have seen it and you're all caught up, come on back and watch this video again, please. That being said, it was fun. It was very fun. And funny. Super funny. Man, it was really funny. This was like one of the best, not like naughtiest, dirtiest superhero movies ever, if not the first one. I mean, technically, you could try to count Kick-Ass, but it was so polarized, and not too many people got it, I think. But Deadpool really nailed it on every level. I'm pretty oblivious when it comes to comic book history. But based on everybody's reactions and people that I've been talking to, they all loved it. Whether they were comic book fans or just moviegoers, people seem to have really loved it and responded very well to it. I think it's had like the biggest box office opening for any rated R film ever. In that case, I think it was the last number I heard was 135 million opening weekend at the box office. That's pretty damn good. And the numbers just seem to keep going up. So oh, it was funny. Ryan Reynolds, great job. Fantastic job to Ryan Reynolds, and of course the whole cast, but to you especially, sir. You really nailed it. That was pretty damn funny. I feel like for a lot of people, this movie made up for X-Men Origins Wolverine, which I never bothered to see because I've heard nothing but bad things about it. And from the few clips and photos that I have seen from Ryan Reynolds from that movie, looks nothing like Deadpool. Nothing like him. And it sounds like he didn't act like him that much either. I think this movie definitely made up for that. The one problem I did have with it, though, in the very beginning, when he's targeting the convoy of bad guys and he does that awesome opening scene where the credits are all super sarcastic and you can pretty much guess who everybody is. Oh yeah, that opening sequence, by the way, just the frozen in time, everybody's and glass and bullets and blood everywhere, and he's like punching some bad guy, and the opening credits are just hysterical themselves, and but that whole scene, I feel like they used too much of that in the first trailer and the last trailer. It's like they kind of gave it away, that whole highway action sequence where he's killing everybody super creatively in a really funny, mocking way, like Deadpool always does. But I just wish they would have kept most of it for the movie and left some of it in the trailer. But you know what? What's done is done. I still really liked it. I thought it was great. I was very surprised to see a direct reference and a visual showing of the X-Men headquarters, Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Oh my god, I was not expecting that at all. I knew Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead were both in it. That is how you say her name, by the way. At first I thought it was Angel Dust, but Angel is actually the character who is cited with Ajax, or Francis, as Deadpool liked to call him. That was hilarious. The whole movie, he refused to call him Ajax, and he just kept calling him Francis, looking for Francis. The whole movie itself was just so much fun. Really well done, really well put together. The people who made it really knew what they were doing, and it was just so fun. And the breaking the fourth wall, talking to the audience back and forth, that was really interesting. What I also thought was really interesting, how at first they would go back and forth between the beginning and the middle of the movie, and then like towards the middle of the movie, then we were all caught up, because of course he looks at the camera and says, "And now you're all caught up," because they kept cutting back and forth. Going back to from like starts with the middle to the beginning, the middle to the beginning, and it's not difficult to follow at all. It's super easy to figure out what's going on and what you're seeing. But I just thought it was an interesting way to tell a story, is to keep cutting back and forth between the middle and the beginning. I thought that was an interesting way of doing that. And, the interference from Colossus and a Negasonic Teenage Warhead on the bridge was super funny. Oh, God. And him cutting off his own hand, and he quickly throws out the, anybody seen 127 Hours? Spoiler alert. He cuts off his arm and his hand, and the hand that's left behind for Colossus and remaining in the handcuff is a middle finger. And I thought it was interesting how they were trying to recruit him to get into the X-Men, to join the X-Men, but Deadpool was so adamant about not being a hero, not being an X-Man, and he knows he's an anti-hero. He knows he's an asshole, for the lack of a better word, because he was basically driven by pure vengeance during most of the movie. Most of the movie, he's out to look for Francine, who turned him into this super healing, basically living super weapon, turning him into a mutant when they promised to remove all of this horrible cancer from his body. But of course, not only did they do that, but they turned him into a mutant with the intent of turning him into a slave. That was an interesting idea about a shady organization that sells mutants, basically living weapons, to different government organizations and evil powers around the world. I thought that was an interesting premise. And Deadpool, Wade befriending, a couple of the mutants who were also captive in that experimental lab where he was being injected with everything. So, and you could also understand Deadpool's point of view, his perspective as to why he hated and hunted down and killed all the guys he did, because they all had a hand in his endless torture, the physical pain and the excruciating pain and the physical toll it took on his body. His body mutated. He was horribly scarred, disfigured. I mean, it made him indestructible, but at the same time, I could see why, he was filled with such hatred and vengeance. And it was interesting that our main character, for the most part, those were his biggest motivators, was hate and vengeance. And you don't really see that in a lot of superhero movies. You see it in other movies where the main character is driven by revenge or hatred, but not superhero movies. And throughout the whole movie and up until the end, he keeps insisting to everybody he's not a hero, until he brings up an interesting point how your one true girl will bring out the hero in you towards the end. And oh my God, the endless sexual innuendos and the disgusting sex references and, the deliberate insults to 20th Century Fox and Marvel for different X-Men movies, and the shout outs to Hugh Jackman and stapling his face onto Hugh Jackman's face from a magazine onto his face. Oh man. Oh, that was funny. The audience at the showing I was at was really eating it all up. It was super fun to watch. I was very surprised that I saw as many kids there as I did, because we all knew it was rated R. I just didn't know how rated R it was going to be, because there were some hardcore sex scenes talking about doing drugs, bloody graphic violence with Deadpool and all the kills he makes. But the kids were eating it up. They loved it. And I did not see any parents walking their kids out. So all I can say is cool parents. I mean, I'm not one to judge or decide what's right for those kids. I'm not their parents, and I'm not a parent, so I don't know. I mean, anyway, but that's neither here nor there. Point being, I loved it. I think everybody in my screening loved it, and it was a very, very fun movie. I highly recommend it. Deadpool, out in theaters right now. Go check it out. It will definitely make you look at Marvel and the X-Men franchise in a whole new way, and I'm very, very excited about the sequel. Very much looking forward to it. All right, guys, have a great rest of the night. Thank you for stopping by for another film review video. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more movie and episode review videos. Please stay subscribed for more upcoming content as we look forward to the rest of Season 6 of Walking Dead, which just premiered last night. Loved it. You can watch that video. I believe it was the one before this one. And yeah, thanks again for stopping by, guys. Hope you all had a great, nice, long weekend as we all return to work tomorrow. But it was nice to start the week off with Deadpool. Let me just put it that way. All right, guys, thanks again for stopping by. Have a great rest of the night. And of course, as always, may the Force be with you.